Howdy, friends. This is the Magic City Motormouth, Fast Eddie Lane, with your invitation to join yours truly, along with Mark Mabo Bowman and the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, every Sunday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 3:30 p.m. Pacific, for Beyond Ringside Live. Wrestling, mixed martial arts, sports talk, and a whole lot more. Keep your eyes open on BeyondRingside.com for all of upcoming show information, and of course, catch us on social media as well. Until then, we'll see you this Sunday, 6:30 Eastern, for Beyond Ringside Live on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
This is Dale the Demon Torborg.
My name is Bryce Rensburg. I'm the Chikara Senior Official.
This is April Hunter from AprilHunter.com.
I'm Bobby Ches, a three-time world champion, Showtime expert analyst.
This is Coolio with the Flow, a.k.a. the Ghetto Gourmet.
This is Dan the Beast Severn, the only Triple Crown champion in the UFC history.
Hi, everybody. This is Jerry the King Lawler. That's right, WWE Hall of Famer.
This is Jeff Damon from Deadliest Warrior on Spike TV.
You have tuned in and are now live listening to the three-time NWA Heavyweight Champion of the World, Scrapper Anna Pierce, and just like you, I am also locked in. And, brother, we are beyond ringside.
Welcome to the original Rockin' Wrestling Radio Show. Welcome to Beyond Ringside, your source for wrestling, MMA, and boxing in the Southeast. To contact the Ringside Roundtable of Beyond Ringside, email them at beyondringside@gmail.com. And now, your host for Beyond Ringside, the man, no myth, all legend, Fast Eddie Lane.
You got it, 29? Before the top of the hour, welcome to the program, welcome to the simulcast. Live from Studio 1 and a multiple location station. Anything can happen, and I think we're about to find out as I welcome in tag team partner Mark Mabo Bowman. What's up, brother?
I don't know about location station, but right now I'm rocking a constipation station.
Okay, all right.
Just because Eddie didn't... Eddie, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who've been listening long enough, y'all should know that like most of the stuff that I say, if Eddie says, by the way, if it sounds echoey, it's because I'm pooping.
Thank you. That'll be all.
Because I had Golden Corral today and Highway 55 out in Tell City. Really good burgers. Go out there and try them. But yeah, and you know, for those of you who personally know me, you know, I'm only really comfortable about pooping at my own house.
Oh, jeez.
And so I crashed at somebody else's place and haven't pooped all day, and I've got a headache.
That'll do. Let it go, so to speak. Let it go, and I don't mean I don't mean as John Travolta would say. I don't mean anything.
Say, ladies and gentlemen, let's just put it this way.
You're not going to stop until you finish this, are you?
I have freed myself up.
Okay.
To do this show.
Speaking of freeing up,
now that I've taken an O'Hagan, I'm going to wipe my Mad Dog.
Okay, that was wrong.
I know, but
that was just wrong.
We're on good terms now, so I can joke about that.
Okay. Well, as long as y'all are on good terms, all is right in the world. And like to welcome in tag team partner, the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis. What's up, Wick?
How's everyone doing this evening?
Beautiful day in paradise.
Bohemian Grove, but you know.
How are things in Bohemian Grove, dude?
It is raining.
Yeah, you're getting what we got earlier.
I don't know. It's a little rainy out here, too.
Well, I'm west of both of y'all, geographically speaking, so I'm going to get the crap before y'all get... Don't say it, Mark. Don't even think about it. For all of our friends up in the Northeast and the Central States area that have been dealing with the inclement weather, especially snow and ice, our hearts go out to you. I know I've personally been gypped 5 times as far as seeing the least bit of snow. But I know that y'all are... like Boston's already been nailed 4 times by snowstorms, and of course other areas in the Northeast. So for everybody listening today, whether it be live or on replay on this 22nd day of February, thank you for hanging with us. We appreciate it. We hope the power stays on. We hope the lights stay up. We hope the refrigerator stays cool and the oven stays hot.
And the toilet stays unclogged.
There you go. I knew he'd do that one. A lot of things clicking so far. Special guest coming on board at the top of the hour. Mabo, would you do the honors?
I'm washing my hands.
Okay. Damn.
Look, do you think I want to be trapped in here with that smell? I'm trying to get as quick as possible.
Okay, that'll do. We'll cover that in just a few minutes. Before I go all over 9 different directions, I'm going to say, Wick, live appearance last night, UIW Temple. How'd it go?
Well, they had about 280 people in attendance, so it was
Nice.
really good, especially with Peach State running down the road and with the Ring of Honor being in Atlanta. But, for those that say that women, women don't sell tickets.
Shoot.
Women shouldn't main event a wrestling event. You missed out last night because last night proved why. And I personally went to ODB and Pandora and told them thank you for putting all those asses in the seats because I got paid. Steven got paid. And Steven won the UIW U.S. Heavyweight Championship from Josh Storm. How about that?
There you go.
Which you can check out on YouTube. The video was up.
They've already got the video up?
I've already got the video up.
Oh, there you go.
I want to say thank you for putting the To Be Determined show, the last 2 episodes up on YouTube. Make sure we share that. I noticed that the last 2 or 3 months, I've been getting a lot of likes to the Sevenfold Saints and to the Unlucky Charms, to the Merchants of Death page, to the To Be Determined show page, and to the Wicked Nemesis page. A lot of likes that are people that are across the world and people that I have no mutual friends with. And then I realized, duh, it's because YouTube. Eddie's putting up YouTube videos again.
Nope. YouTube videos, the podcast feed, which, of course, the To Be Determined Show's podcast feed is available on iTunes. You can catch it cross-format all the way across the board. Of course, it's available on Podomatic, which does have a mobile app. I keep forgetting to mention that. So, BR, Wrestle Rage, To Be Determined, Cause and Effect has been piggybacking on ours for a little while. We're going to get them set up with their own feed in the very near future. But all the core shows, I should say, because Potty Humor, the home of the Midnight Black Mass, they have their site on YouTube as well as they're available on Stitcher. From there, the brand new outing from Ted Guinness, the show, which is slated to debut in 2 weeks from this past Thursday, if my notes are right. They're
confused with the To Be Determined show. But.
Yeah, really. Trust me, I don't think there's any possibility of confusion on that one. More syllables. The show, the To Be Determined show. No confusion. But I'm going to go and lay this one out there because earlier in the week, as we've been discussing this weekend that was, on the 21st especially, there was some heavy speculation about how different shows were going to draw in the state of Georgia, considering the fact, and as you heard Wick just make a reference to, UIW running in Temple, Peach State Wrestling Alliance running in Carrollton, maybe 20 minutes from each other. If my notes are right, maybe 20 minutes from each other. And then in Norcross, which is just barely north of the Atlanta perimeter, you had Ring of Honor last night. And I'm willing to bet right now that I'm saying that it was around 1,300. I'm saying that they ran out of chairs at the North Atlanta Trade Center. It was standing room only last night for ROH. And probably 10 of those were... Go ahead. I'm going to get killed for this, but I'm going to do it anyway. Probably about 10% of that was homegrown wrestling talent from around Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, and Northwest Florida. Because it was a convention. Wick, Mark, y'all would have had a blast there last night. Had a chance to talk to Danny Only. Had a chance to talk to Sugar Dunkerton. The Revelation Shane Marks. Oh Lord, the talent that was there last night. Chip Day had a chance to say hi to Bill Behrens. Oh Lord, I know I'm leaving some people out, and I apologize for that. But it's,
how long did it take you to say hello to Bill Behrens? I was just wondering.
Probably about 20 minutes. I didn't know he was there until somebody told me. Schmidtke was there last night.
I didn't know if it was going to go for about 2 or 3 hours.
There you go. No, actually, we spoke for maybe about 10 minutes because the show was getting ready to start, and he was wanting to enjoy the show, and so was I. Drove over yesterday with the Hitman from the Saturday Showcase, and we met Smart Rage from Wrestle Rage Radio, and hung out, goofed off, had a lot of fun. I had a couple of beers. They had Bud Light available. Yes, beer at a wrestling show. Yes, I'm in paradise. But yeah, there were so many people there that I recognized. Either I haven't seen, and we're switching phones. Okay, we'll go with that too.
What happened?
I don't know. You switched phones, or is that the same phone you were
No,
on?
No, it's the same number. I guess I bumped the thing by accident.
That is possible. But I'm just going to go ahead and say now, Wick. In addition to the Pandora ODB match, major notable events coming out of last night at UIW. Anything you'd like to pass along?
Yes, Steven Styles is your United States UIW heavyweight champion.
Nice.
That's how you start a show. Like I said, that match is up. Go and check it out. Also, looks like the SoFi Mafia and whatever the hell AJ Still and the Scream Machine have their little faction called, but it got pretty heavy last night. Brad Litch against AJ Still for the number one contenders match, and it was pretty good. This is the first time in a long time I misspoke that they had been in the ring against each other, and Brad Lynch saying he was a number one contender facing off against your UIW heavyweight champion AJ Still, AJ Triumphant. There was just bodies everywhere, and to see Pandora against ODB was something awesome because they beat the crap out of each other. There was cups used. Mason, the referee, got his ass kicked twice. He had two matches. Both times, he gets bumped. Just bad luck all around. I wish you guys could have been there for that. I'm sure there were some wannabe wrestlers in attendance. A guy actually acted like he wanted to get in the ring with Steve Styles and myself. So I wish.
Oh, and believe me.
That is captured on film. Oh, that's right. That's right, because the video is up. So there you go. It was my dramatic pause, by the way.
And I am going to get probably shot because I did forget to mention the fact the first person I ran into last night was Murder One. So you were talking about different people being in different areas. It almost makes me wonder how many different people were at the Peach State show last night. And it's going. And by the way, Mabo, I'll go ahead and say this: two of our favorite people in the whole wide world were sitting front row for ROH last night. Kevin Brandon with IWA Deep South, as well as without the plastic paraphernalia, Red Solo Cup was sitting right next to him. So I know they're getting geared up for Carnage Cup this coming weekend up in Tennessee. Are you going to make that trip?
Oh. No.
Unfortunately not. Damn, I'm sorry, dude.
No. Sorry. Prior commitments, whatnot, heretofore unforeseen circumstances.
There you go. Grey Wolf, Red Scorpion, the tandem known as the Bloodbound Warriors. I apologize. I figured maybe it would be real quick on that one too. Slated to join us.
Trying.
I know. Slated to join us right up at the top of the hour. Looking forward to having a chance to speak with them a little bit more. A lot of people are going to recognize them, especially from national television appearances, including Ring of Honor in recent days. So really looking forward to having some fun during this interview. Going to be great to get to know them a little bit better. Fastlane, 1 hour, 18 minutes away officially on the WWE Network, which is free to new subscribers for the balance of the month. Got a week left on that. As the stumbling path to WrestleMania continues, there have been discussions that I've been a part of over the last few days as it pertains to Fastlane, and I'm just going to lay this one out there. Based on things that have been occurring and WWE's weird path going into this free per-view, pay-per-view, whatever you want to call it, which, before I go any further, for our friends listening in our home market of Central Alabama, Buffalo Wild Wings in Trussville will be showing WrestleMania. High-def big screens. I had a chance finally to get out to Trussville last night, and good friend, general manager and great friend of the family, Joseph Palladino, nicknamed Dino, took me around and showed me the brand new layout they have at Buffalo Wild Wings Trussville. Oh my God, this place is gorgeous.
I noticed a couple like about a month or so ago that they were shut down and doing renovations.
They are they've gotten the the renovations, which is a part of the new corporate stadia format for the buildings and for the inside of the building. They have expanded.
They're going to hit 280.
280 is on the list, but the next one in our home market of Birmingham to be transformed is going to be my home market of Alabaster. the place I'm at Friday nights, 9 o'clock p.m., doing Friday night karaoke. So we're next on the list. That's going to be in April, and I think it's going to be right after WrestleMania when that happens. But for our friends in the home market of Birmingham, like I said, having it on network is great and wonderful. But every once in a while, you know something, it's a great idea to get out of the house, put the computer down, put the remote control down, and go have some fun. Great food, good times, wings, beer, sports, WrestleMania at Buffalo Wild Wings in Trussville. Looking forward to it.
Sometimes you got to go out and mix among the other fat, sweaty, lazy masses who are nothing but armchair bookers. Sometimes you got to get out and mingle amongst your own people.
There you go.
Not my people, though. I don't like any of them. They can all suck it.
Hey. Now, the point that I was going to get to on Fastlane, the question I want to lay to both of y'all real quick, if you've had a chance to see the lineup for me, and this is something I believe, Mabo, you've made a reference to as well. I think you said it this past Tuesday night, the fact that we're probably going to see 60% of the matches on this show at WrestleMania as return matches, right?
I don't think I said that, but I'm in agreement with it. I mean, I have no doubt we'll probably see Cena Rusev Part 2, Goldust Stardust Part 2, probably, I don't know, is there even a tag title match tonight?
To my knowledge, no, there is not. Let me go ahead and run this one down. Matches that I have confirmed and confirmed. There you go.
Really confirmed?
They're confirmed. Son of a buzzer.
Confirmed.
Of course, main event's going to, well, one of the main events is going to be John Cena versus Rusev for the United States Championship. Also to be decided this evening, Divas Champion Nikki Bella will be taking on Paige. Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan, winner goes to Mania to face Brock Lesnar. I'm still calling triple threat. I don't care who says what. Wade Barrett, Dean Ambrose, Intercontinental title on the line. Who's got the U.S. title right now? Rusev. Ha! That was a trick question. Nobody caught that. Tag team championships will be on the line tonight. The Uso brothers taking on Tyson Kidd and Cesaro. The Dust brothers break down and take on each other. Goldust versus Stardust. And let's see, how is the easy way to put this? Maybe a six-man tag. Dolph Ziggler, Eric Rowan, and Ryback versus Seth Rollins, Kane of the Big Show. So that is
team rehired versus the Authority.
Team rehired versus team recycled.
Yeah, I did see a post on Facebook. It's one of the forums that kind of, well, not really forums, or what they call them, fan pages, whatever.
Right.
Somebody said that they would rather see Rollins and J&J Security rather than Rollins, Kane, and Big Show, because all Kane and Big Show is going to be cough button is just a setup for another giant versus giant, I guess, little buffer match over at Mania, because we'll see Big Show versus Kane.
Now, based on what I've said, based on the card that is laid out tonight, how many of these matches, or what percentage, I'll leave it at that. Don't try to call an exact number if you don't want to, but what percentage do you think is going to be rehashed and rerun at WrestleMania, and they expect, I'll hold that thought, at WrestleMania, what percentage do you think is going to be rerun? Wick?
I'd say at least 70%. It won't be half. It'll be a little more than half, but not too much more than half, or some incarnation of it. That's what's great about a February pay-per-view, is you're able to take some of these storylines and actually expound upon them going into WrestleMania and actually make somebody care about them. So I'll say about 70%.
Mabo?
I don't know about a percentage, but like I said, I'm going to go ahead and say definitely we'll see, more than likely see Goldust Stardust rehashed, possibly with Dusty as the referee. I know we'll see Rusev Cena, because Cena's going to win, and that's going to be the defeat of the Supreme Athlete. If we see the tag team rehash, it'll probably be like a Four Corners or something, and then that'll probably be the pre-show. I don't know about. I think we'll see Kane Big Show, but I don't know if you can really call that a rehash. And then I don't know we'll probably see Kane Big Show taking on Ryback and Rowan, and then Ziggler, Seth Rollins in some kind of insane match. If they do the triple threat, if not, I would still, regardless of what happens, I would like to see Debray and Ziggler have their match and literally tear the house down, because you know they will.
I'm going to bring this one up, and it's a slightly. We're going to come back to Fastlane in just a few minutes. And on the ride over yesterday, Hitman brought up a very valid point, and something that I haven't really paid that much attention to is the fact that the applause and the cheers for Daniel Bryan and the participation in the quote-unquote yes, or by the quote-unquote yes movement, appears to be on a noticeable decline. And I'm inclined to agree with this. I've gone back and looked at the last few weeks, and it seems like they've almost, as far as the noise factor go, used piped in noise. And normally when you do the wide shot, it's normally 90%, and I would say maybe 70 at the most have been participating in the throwing up of the arms. One, have you noticed this? And two, genuine reason. What do you feel is the main reason for the decline? Wick?
I did not notice the downturn in the yes participation, because I don't pay attention to minute details like that when it comes to everybody else's repertoire. But the reason why this is happening is because of the time he took off. That was it. Other people become invested in some things. People, said, "Hey, maybe he was too small." There's going to be naysayers like that, left and right. But as to noticing it, no, I did not notice it because I don't watch much Raw. Angie may have noticed it on Raw this past Monday, but I did not.
Maybo.
I haven't really seen any. I haven't noticed any kind of downturn or anything like that. I mean, if there is one, I haven't seen it.
Okay. Actually,
I'm not saying it's increased, but I have not seen a decrease in it.
See, like I said, I've gone back over the last couple of weeks on specifically Raw, not as much on SmackDown, and I have noticed a little bit of that. And I don't think I would drop it all the way down to maybe 70%, but give or take. But by the same token, there is a noticeable decline in the physical participation. And I know that WWE is notoriously quick based on what I have seen over the years. I know WWE is notoriously quick to pull the trigger if they don't think something's working, either period or anymore. I'm asking this question in a genuine sense. Do you think, in your opinion, that the run of Daniel Bryan is in question at this point? Not in jeopardy, but in question. Maybo, you first.
I'm going to say no.
Wick?
I'm going to say maybe. I know that's kind of a wishy-washy move, but maybe.
No, it's not wishy-washy at all, and I can understand the perspective on that one, because I would have to sit back and say I'm not quite sure. Because since he's come back off the injury, the physical skills are still there. There's a little bit of trepidation on a couple of things, and I understand that. You injure your damn neck and shoulder, guess what? You're going to be a little bit thinking. You're going to think a little bit. And that's perfectly natural. We've all had injuries. And when we come from that injury or come back from it, we have a tendency to be a little bit cautious, sometimes overly cautious, especially on the area that was injured. And that is probably, I'm beginning to think that might be one of the reasons why a question mark is there. Because you know that when the front office pays attention to the way something's going, coming back off the injury, the front office is going to be even more skittish than the in-ring talent. It's like, okay, do we need to put him on a lighter schedule? Do we need to keep an eye on, make sure that he's not working a little bit too hard? Do we need to make sure that he's still undergoing physical therapy, even though he's been cleared? But that's going to be one of the major sticking points at this point, because when you're headed into Fastlane tonight and you're continuing down the road to WrestleMania, one of the things that they're definitely going to be looking out for, not just with Daniel Bryan, but with all the talent, I will guarantee you, from my perspective, I might be wrong, I might be right, that you are going to see a few less major high-risk maneuvers from the majority of from the middle tier to the top tier, because the front office is going to want to keep everybody healthy for the rest of the road to WrestleMania. But from that vantage point, I'm going to go and lay this one out there. And we'll come back to this one a little bit later, because we're going to go a little bit long form after we have an opportunity to speak with the Bloodbound Warriors in just a few minutes. And like I said, really looking forward to this. Out of the matches that are on the card tonight, and I'm not asking either of you to be overly critical, just honest from your perspective. Which match, in your opinion, has to go a little bit further to get and keep everybody's attention? Maybo?
Just one match?
Yeah, pick one.
Yeah, the Divas are automatically disqualified, right?
That's your call, dude.
I'm going to say, honestly, I'm going to have to say the six-man tag.
Okay.
Because, I mean, it's just, I got a feeling everybody's just tired of seeing, the authority and all that, so.
I can see that. I can respect that. Wicked Nemesis.
I have no idea. I don't know any of the matches tonight, and I probably will not be watching pay-per-view. So I have no idea. Whichever is best for WrestleMania.
I'm going to lay this one out there. The easy choice would be Reigns Bryan. The second easiest choice would be, for me, Cena Rusev. But I'm going to lay this one out there. The one match that really has to get and keep everybody's attention is a match that not everybody's really keeping on their radar, even though one of the two, actually both individuals are on their radar. And that's going to be Wade Barrett, Dean Ambrose. Because you have got two physically gifted competitors inside that ring. The speculation mill was that WWE wasn't sure what they were going to do with Dean Ambrose at one point. They were considering the idea of turning him heel. That's what the dirt sheets were saying. That's what the news sites were saying. And then you have Wade Barrett, who's coming fresh off the injury, got the Intercontinental title back within the first couple of weeks of his return. So you've got a lot of people really looking at this, but they're not looking at it. And that's why, in my opinion, right now, Dean Ambrose, with the role that he's been on, first and foremost, with the role that he's been on in the public eye as far as WWE is concerned, he's one of those that everybody's like, he needs to go to the next level now. I've said the same thing about Wade Barrett, because Barrett, physically gifted, like I said, both gentlemen, gifted in the ring. Great ring awareness, great presence, great skill set, moveset. Yes, I love using those terms. We'll talk about those later. But I think that's going to be the match that a lot of people are going to watch. And I think that's the one that genuinely has to deliver tonight. Tell you what, Wick, are you going to hang with us, or have you got a bolt at the top?
Nope, I'll be here for a few.
Okie dokie. Tell you what, we're going about a minute early on this break. Folks, hang with us. We are going to the top of the hour break on this Sunday night edition on this 22nd day of February. When we return, scheduled to be joined by the Bloodbound Warriors. Right here, this is Beyond Ringside Live.
Hello, everybody out there. This is Universal Soldier Phil Shatter, also TNA Gunner. 2 years in the making as NWA National Heavyweight Champion, making my way to the top as #1 in the world. And you are locked in to Beyond Ringside.
Howdy, friends. This is the Magic City Motor Mouth, Fast Eddie Lane.
And I'm the Cause, Robert Cosper.
And this is your invitation to join us
and the Hitman, Big Daddy Cool, Ryan Adcock, right here for the Saturday Showcase.
At Saturday mornings, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10, 9, 8 a.m. Pacific time. See, we do math around this place. Be sure to catch us right here on BeyondRingside.com. You can also listen through Winamp for Android and BlackBerry, as well as the Shoutcast mobile app for Apple as well. Remember, that's Saturday mornings, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, right here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
And let me tell you how you can find the hitman Big Daddy Cool Ryan Adcock on social media. It's very easy. It's at www.kissmyass.
Whoa. Stop that right there. Folks, we'll see you Saturday on the showcase. Bye for now.
Oh, yes, this is Paul Miller, and some people call me Percy Pringle III. You're locked in to Beyond Ringside.
This is Ace Haven from Pro South Wrestling, and you're locked in to Beyond Ringside.
Hey everyone, this is the Cause, Robert Cosper, host of Cause and Effects Thursday Night Radio Throwdown. This is your invitation to join me, along with the Effects Stuart Couch, Mad Dog Dan Sawyer, and all of the craziness that is C&E, right here every Thursday at 7 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Pacific Time. It's wrestling radio with a twist, and some might just say with a twist of lime when the bar is open. Cause and Effect, right here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
This is Dan the B7, the only Triple Crown champion in the UFC history, and you're listening to Beyond Ringside. You better pay attention, otherwise I know where you live.
The To Be Determined Show live Wednesday nights, 9 Central Standard Time. Join myself, the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, the Grand Design, Clyde Braddock, and the Magic City Monroe, Fast Eddie Lane, as we take you to the edge of uncensored. Yes, we go uncensored, so make sure you have your earmuffs. Ask your parents, for those of you that are a little young, maybe under 18, but make sure if you have any heart conditions or any mental defects, please listen, because they may take effect right here, live, every Wednesday night, 9 Central Standard Time. Beyond Ringside Radio Network, beyondringside.com.
This is Mad Dog Dan Sawyer. You're listening to Beyond Ringside.
Hey everyone, this is the voice Ted Guinness, and I am proud to announce that I will be returning to the Beyond Ringside Radio Network Thursday, March 5th, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central, right after Cause and Effect, right here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network with The Show, the only show on Beyond Ringside dedicated to WWE, SmackDown, Raw, NXT, plus your phone calls. That's all coming up Thursday, March 5th, right here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network and the Beyond Ringside app.
And this is Kenny Kip Kennedy, master of Kenny's Kempo Karate.
Hier spricht Tassilo Jung von Western Extreme Wrestling.
This is the Dark Child, Chance Crawford, NWA National Heavyweight Champion. This is the Temptation, Sean Tempers.
This is Jacoby Boykins, a.k.a. the Alabama Ambassador, Mr. 256.
This is the Bee's Knees, the Casper Pajamas, and the whole shebang. Johnny Gargano.
This is Bill Behrens, and you're watching, you're listening, you're experiencing Beyond Ringside. And you are a better person for it. Trust me.
The music plays, the microphones go hot, and we are live on a Sunday night, the 22nd day of February. Welcome back into Beyond Ringside Live, multiple location station. Magic City Motormouth, Fast Eddie Lane, live from Studio One. Welcoming back in from Bohemian Grove, tag team partner, the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis.
From every great thing comes something else. It's all one chain, interconnected.
I'll drink to that. Mark Mabo Bowman had to step away, situations with family. Mark, of course, thinking about you, brother, hoping everything's working out okay. Real quick, want to say thank you to everybody listening live this evening through BeyondRingside.com, through the Beyond Ringside mobile app, which is available for Android, Amazon, and for BlackBerry. Still working on Apple, little by little, but we do ask everybody on Apple users, check out the TuneIn, one word, TuneIn radio app. Beyond Ringside has a station on TuneIn Mobile. Like to welcome in very special guests at this time. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not seen these guys, what rock have you been hiding under? What corner of the wilderness are you in? Even if you're in the wilderness, you might have actually passed them once or twice. A truly dominant tag team in every sense of the word. The Last Warrior, Grey Wolf, the world's most dangerous arachnid, the Red Scorpion. They are the Blood-Bound Warriors. Gentlemen, welcome to the show tonight. Great to have you on board this evening.
Good to be on board.
It's
our pleasure.
We, in and of ourselves, enjoy working with tag teams. And as an announcer, I enjoy being able to make that call and being able to watch tag team wrestling. I've managed before and genuinely enjoy that facet of it. Wicked Nemesis, in addition to representing singles wrestlers, also represents a very prominent tag team down here in the Southeast. The way things work, we have a genuine respect for tag team wrestling. I'm going to ask first and foremost, the chemistry, the bond between the two of you, what would you genuinely say is the defining ingredient for the Bloodbound Warriors?
Well, you know, it really says it right in our name. The Bloodbound Warriors were bound by the blood of war. We share a similar philosophy. You know, we share a kindred spirit. We really are connected as brethren warriors. I mean, and once you fought alongside somebody in battle, they become as kin to you. And we are bound by this blood. We are bound by this angst. We are bound by this dominion that we set forth to achieve. Really just a similar philosophy on everything we do. That is the bond we share. It's almost a spiritual sort of, bond, one always watching the back of the other. One that's a bond that's very hard to sever.
And if I may add as well, we're former adversaries. We've fought great battles in the ring. But as of the past 2 years or so, we joined this tag team, and it's been nothing but a blast.
Now, if I could, in the realm in which I live, the way my mind and my heart works as it pertains to pro wrestling, I know that everybody has, and I'll take it into the realm of comic books, because a lot of people, we have that big crossover audience. People love sci-fi, people love comics, they love everything from the fantasy side of life as well. And I'm going to take you back to issue 0 individually. Red Scorpion, I'm going to go to you first. If there was a genuine origins issue about the Red Scorpion, where would
a genuine... Okay, go ahead, continue.
No, if there was a genuine origins issue, how would it set the scene for you?
A genuine set the scene. Explain more in layman's terms, if you will.
Okay. What makes and what made the Red Scorpion to this point in your life and your career?
Okay.
What were the building blocks?
All right. The origin of the Red Scorpion, believe it or not, started well before I ever even imagined of professional wrestling. A long time ago, a good friend of mine, Jay Diesel, who currently wrestles for Ring of Honor, we had gone to a wrestling show, an indie wrestling show, something that I've never been experienced to. Growing up as a kid, I've always watched the WWE on TV, and granted, me and Grey Wolf were both fairly short, 5'8" at best. So I never had an aspiration to ever become a professional wrestler because I never thought I had what it took, although I had the will, the desire. But what I did have was a lot of creativity, a lot of charisma, and that I was able to express that in the world of bodybuilding. You see, on the bodybuilding forums, I was known as the Red Scorpion. When I was 17 years old, I got a tattoo on my chest based on the 1988 movie with Dolph Lundgren in it, The Red Scorpion, where he was branded with a scorpion on his chest. And back then, he was one of the hottest things. It was Rocky IV. He also did the movie The Punisher. So therefore, that's another aspect of the Red Scorpion. Then you have my alma mater, McCaskey, in Lancaster, where I went to school. We are known as the Red Tornadoes. Therefore, my colors, red and black, are incorporated into that, as well as the love that I have for the genre of movies like Gladiator, like Troy, like the show Spartacus, all kind of wrapped out into who the Red Scorpion is. And I'm just glad that I found a brother who can share those same admirations with me in Grey Wolf. That is who the Red Scorpion is.
Grey Wolf, same question.
Well, my name is preceded by the moniker The Last Warrior, and people think warrior, is just a soldier who goes out and fights people. No, warrior is far greater than just a soldier who goes out and fights people. And, in my very, inception in coming to what Grey Wolf is, a warrior is a person who confronts and with all his will and all his determination overcomes adversity. And for me, that is what a warrior truly is. You know, any soldier could go out in the field and follow orders to kill somebody on command. You know, when they have guns and the person has rocks, any soldier can do that. You know, the warrior is the single mother who is struggling to make her children survive. You know, the warrior is the elderly man who can barely walk, you know, is confined to a wheelchair but tries to get up and walk nonetheless. That's a warrior. That's somebody who's confronting adversity. That's somebody who's trying to overcome, regardless of the pain, regardless of the fear, an obstacle that is put forth in front of them. That is what a warrior truly is. If it might happen to apply to battle and actual combat, then sure, then it applies to battle and actual combat. But as an inception, you know, the last warrior came from. I'm a warrior who in my life has confronted and overcome more adversity than I'd wish, you know, on any of my foe. And that's starting from a child, starting from very, very young. And that is, I feel, the purest essence of what a warrior is, and not knowing it at the time, you know, you deal with that hardship, you deal with that, you wonder why it's happening to you, but you plug on nonetheless, and you confront it nonetheless, despite all the demons you feel are constantly assaulting you. You keep pressing forward. Also, if I might gloss on this a bit, I do have a background as Red Scorpion does in the world of bodybuilding. You know, so that sort of carries over. You know, where we have so many parodying qualities about ourselves. You know, where we have these overlaps and things that have happened in our lives, where that sort of brought that brotherhood, I think, closer together. But in essence of being a warrior, that's sort of what that is. And you know, the Grey Wolf. If you've ever done any research into, you know, Viking or even Native American lore, the wolf is represented as a very powerful figure, a very solitary figure, and really is synonymous almost, especially in Viking lore, with the warrior. A lot of warriors use the wolf as an icon to represent themselves because of its power, because of its leadership, because of its tenacity, because of its willingness to defend its kin, you know, and work in a pack to hunt its prey, you know, working together, collectiveness as community. So the Grey Wolf, that is really what I am, the last warrior, the Grey Wolf. And as you see, I wear the red wall paint as well. Red, again, being the color of battle, being the color of war, being the color of, you know, Ares, and all the gods of, you know, the ancient gods of war. And you say influences, well, you know, I'm influenced, you know, more so by classic literature, you know, the classic tales of, you know, the tales of Achilles, the tales of Heracles, the tales of all the great warriors of old, Aegil, you know, in all the Viking sagas. So if you wish to become, you know, as these great warriors were in the past, to accomplish the things and ascend and rise above everything that's put before you, to become, you know, as those great heroes you hear about in all these tales. Scorpion has seen them more exemplified sort of on film, when I sort of read about all the, you know, heard the tales about, you know, all these great warriors, and then having seen professional wrestling, you know, for the first time in my youth, and presented, you know, for what it was back then, before Vince McMahon came out and said, you know, this is just a farce, this is an act, you know, this, you know, presented as a, you know, a competitive battle. You know, you see the fiercest, biggest gladiators on the face of the planet going head-to-head combat, giving everything they have against each other. And, you know, that was the stage I wanted to do it on. I said, you know, I want to face the biggest people I possibly can. I want to face the hardest opponents I possibly can. I want to pick up the biggest man I can and slam him to the ground, because that is what they were doing. And the biggest, the fiercest, you know, the most overwhelming of adversaries, all competing, you know, for that championship belt. And I felt, you know, professional wrestling was the best thing to really exemplify what I was striving for. So I sort of incorporate all the elements of my life, all my beliefs and my philosophies into, I guess, I don't even want to call Grey Wolf a character, because, you know, as I express to people I, you know, train, you know, when you devise a character, per se, it should be an extension of who you truly are, right? You know, and just amplified tenfold.
Definitely.
You know, and so that's really what Grey Wolf is just, you know, who I am, just amplified, you know, tenfold in the ring.
I would buy both comic books at the drop of a hat. I like both. Very nice, gentlemen. Wicked Nemesis, come on board.
Now, getting into wrestling is something that, you know, it seems today is kind of blasé. You know, I wrestle on the weekends. But to be able to put a career, be able to build a foundation for something better and to better others is what makes a great tag team What separates you guys from the really good tag teams out there and the great tag teams for those that are willing, to put forth all the work and what it takes to be great? Mr. Gray?
I'll look at this, and there's many talented athletes in many facets. You have guys that'll flip and fly all over the place that are extremely conditioned. You have some people that are willing to lie, cheat, and steal in order to acquire what they want. You have Ric Flair, who was sort of the epitome of doing that. What really takes it to make it great, though, is the discipline, the determination, and the dedication to whatever part of your craft you are willing to hone in order to make yourself the best. Everybody sort of has their little niche. Everybody has the thing they're good at. And I will say right now, what separates us from everyone else, first look at us. There's no one else. Very seldom do you see anyone our size and our strength and our power. And I will claim that we are the most powerful tag team out there right now. There is not one tag team that will match power, strength, intensity, and tenacity with the Bloodbound Warriors. That is what I will say is our claim to making it great. I can promise also that you won't see us flipping and flying and flopping all over the place, so we will take the people who flip and fly and flop, and we'll cut them out of the air as a bird with a stone. And you'll see them drop to the earth. Lie, cheat, and steal, we'll take your hands and we'll break your arms. That is what we'll do. Anybody who dare try to match power with us will overrun them like a battering ram at the gates. That is what we will do. There is no tag team more fierce, more powerful than the Bloodbound Warriors.
Red Scorpion, anything you'd like to add?
You know what? That was well said. And to add to that, those high-flying fairies, we will clip their wings and decapitate them.
Now, you both make the reference to the world of bodybuilding. I've had close friends and actually a family member who are competitive bodybuilders, and I know a lot of the training that they've had to go through in order to make to make it to different levels of competition. Now, making a move into pro wrestling, the strength and the physical is always a great part of the arsenal. That's what I was trying to say. But what was one of the first things that you had to really work on aside from the strength factor as you're getting ready to make the transition into pro wrestling for that first day of training? Red Scorpion, you first.
Yes, absolutely. Growing up, I was always small. I was the only child, but I would have been the runt of the litter. Okay, and as a result, I developed a big heart and a big will and a desire to be better because I wasn't blessed genetically like that. So I had to work extra hard. I mean, when I was in junior high, they didn't even have a helmet to fit me. They had a special order air helmet, and only me and another kid were on there looking like eggheads on the team. And so I tell you what, I worked my butt off. I mean, push-ups, sit-ups every night. I started working out when I was 13 years old. I threw shot-footed discus in junior high just so I could work out because I knew that was part of their regimen. Now, I grew a lot throughout my years, and I was never considered like weak or small or anything in that sense as when we're talking about strength because of how hard I had to work to make up for my small stature. Now, that then translated into, high school and wrestling, and then I got into powerlifting where I was the strongest man pound for pound in McCaskey, where I won the lift-a-thon every year I competed. And when I graduated in 98, that'll tell you my age, I competed in the Lancaster 11 League Powerlifting Championship, 18 years old, bench pressing 300 pounds. Nice. I had over 1,000 pounds within the three lifts, the deadlift, squat, and bench press, only weighing about 160 pounds.
Damn.
So,
impressive.
Yeah. I had like a 315-pound bench press then. Again, when I was 18, I competed in the Lancaster meet at the YMCA. That's what got me started kind of in the bodybuilding realm. I always wanted to look the part, though. I could really care less how much I could bench press, but although it is an ego thing, but that translated into then bodybuilding. There was a flyer up at my gym, and I entered this bodybuilding competition not knowing what I was getting myself into or how hard it was. And I tell you what, you talk about dedication, sticking to a diet. I mean, I went so far as to compete nationally, where I placed like 18th at the IFBB North American in 2011. And that was a real eye-opener for me because I had so much potential and so much success early on in my bodybuilding career because nobody my age looked like me. Now as you transition into wrestling, it's very, very, very different.
Yes.
I wrestled amateur in high school. And like I said, I started off 16 years old. I was only 130 pounds. And I mean, I had to suck to make weight because McCaskey didn't, at that time, we didn't have a super strong wrestling team. They've since then progressed so much under Coach Mitchell and now actually Isaiah Rodriguez, who is now the head coach there. But I called him Psycho, and I still call him Psycho today. But anyway, you know, you know, as you're amateur wrestling, you stay low to the ground.
Right.
In football, low man wins. You know, and you had to be strong. You had to be tight. I remember being on the mat and the guy grabs my hands. I'm like, damn, he's got some strength. You know, and when I then went into my first day of training to become a professional wrestler, you know, you go to lock up or something, or even run the chain or something outside of the ring after I took my first bump. But I tell you this, after that first day, I had so much respect for the people in the business because I'm not gonna lie, I left that day with a concussion from all the back bumps, butt bumps, flip bumps, handstand bumps. It was something like I've never experienced before. I mean, I played football, and I was a fullback, a linebacker, and I tell you what, I have so much respect for those guys after that, and it's so technical. People just don't understand that. But again, being tight, being strong, and you know, they kept on telling me, stand up, show your physique off. A guy takes an arm wringer. Be loose. Flow like water. That's what I tell the trainees now. Flow like water. You got to be smooth. And it is tough when you're muscle bound, like me and Grey Wolf. I ain't gonna lie. I did an arm wringer on Grey Wolf before, and I was like, holy shit, brother. I mean, his arm was so freaking tight. I was like, good Lord. But that's one thing that you know was something hard to get over. I mean, the way we threw a head, like we were taught to punch a back wall, and you pop that guy right in the face with your shoulder. It's a lot different in professional wrestling where you're trying to protect the individual you're in the ring with because it's a dance out there. It's you know, and we're performing to tell a story and to get our characters over. A lot different than wrestling amateur where I try to rip your face off, and I mean literally, and I try to hurt you. And that kind of hurt me, too, as well, because I'd given up a lot of points because I was just frustrated because I was outskilled or whatever. But in professional wrestling, it's just so much fun, and it's a lot different. It's not like what people think they see on TV. You just can't go into a ring and think you're going to grab an arm bar on a guy or suplex a guy. There's so much technical aspects to it that people just don't understand. Ring positioning, foot positioning, hand positioning, holding your head up. You know, it's different. It's a different world. That's all.
Grey Wolf, same question.
No, I really can't say much about it, but Scorpion really didn't like to say. I really think he gave a really good description of really what it's like to transition quite a bit. From my experience, too, if I could just add a few things. When you're training bodybuilding or you're training, you know, for powerlifting or you're training strongman or any sort of that sport, you're accustomed to using certain muscle groups in a very specific, controlled, isolated way in order to execute proper form on whatever movement it is you happen to be doing. Well, you know that it does assist you because your muscles become stronger, your tendons are stronger, you protect yourself and your opponent when you get in the ring. But you know, I remember when I first got in the ring, transitioning from that over to that, I feel, you know, I'm strong, I'm in shape, I can do this and that. And the next day after having done, you know, and this is just some basic chain wrestling and running the ropes and, you know, just moving around the ring a little bit, the first time I really actively did that, I remember things when my body hurt that I didn't even know I had. just small muscles and tendons and recruiting muscles, especially, that you don't actively use when you're trying to engage in any sort of lift or bodybuilding style movement. There are muscles that aren't incorporated. There are a lot of supporting muscles, in your ankles and your hips and your in your back that just you don't actively use when you're trying to pull weight on in the bodybuilding realm. So that's just the shock right there. As I said, I heard in places I didn't even know I had. And every time you take a bump, people really think we're in there on a trampoline. That we're on a trampoline and the ropes are fun to run. No, this is the farthest thing from reality. The ropes I was trained on were big, thick towing ropes. The authentic, and barely any tape on them from people having run them so much.
Right.
The old WWF style they used to use, where the ropes were very thick and they were actual authentic rope and they were very tight. So you'd get done wrestling and you'd have ring rope burn all over your back. And every time you take a bump, it's not a trampoline. It's a little bit of padding over, usually steel and wood.
Right.
And every time you're taking a bump, as our trainer at the Monster Factory, Danny Cage, always says, it's like being in a mini accident. Every bump you take is a mini accident. And people think, we hit the mat and get right back up, and it's like nothing. It's like laying down in your bed. No, it's the furthest thing from the truth. That's something I really had to get used to also, and after doing reps after reps after reps, taking these bumps and landing a certain way, it's a different kind of pain on your body. It's a different kind of endurance. And not to mention the cardiovascular endurance it takes to transition from one sport over to the other. It's a completely different bodybuilding. You need a certain conditioning to make it through different sets. And this is just a completely different kind of conditioning that you require, that you have to almost retrain your body, in a different way in order to accomplish. So that's about, what I had to say on that subject. I think Scorpion really covered it well.
And I just want to say real quick thing. We just had a match recently at 1CW, and when you amateur wrestle for so long, things become second nature. You don't even think about it; you just do it. And a guy puts me in a front headlock, which is an insult. It's an insult to me. So I quickly hip height counter out of it. I end up on top. He doesn't do anything. He just lays there. So out of just reaction, out of natural instinct, I put him in an armbar, not a professional wrestling armbar. No, an amateur wrestling armbar. And I ran that shit straight across his back. Can I cuss, by the way?
Actually, we're #HeldMass.
Okay. So I ran this armbar across his back and stacked him on his shoulders. And I'm thinking to myself, holy crap, what did I just do? I'm like, you got to kick out. And I had that thing in there tight. I mean, it was tight. He was stacked. And thank God he was able, I had to work with him, but we were able to get out of that hold for a second. I'm like, cut me off, quick, cut me off, because I was right there by Grey Wolf, so I could have made that tag. And that was just, it was accidental. It was really accidental. I mean, it was like, bam, I'm there. Out of instinct, I just sunk my arm in there and ran it straight across his back and stacked him on his shoulders. And I'm like, holy crap, what did I just do? So that's another thing that sometimes it gets hard, that, again, like you said, that transition from, the bodybuilding. Well, I'm talking about amateur wrestling, but still, it's hand in hand, That's all.
You are listening to Beyond Ringside Live, Sunday night on this 22nd day of February. Fast Eddie Lane, the Wicked Nemesis, Mark Mabo Bowman, being joined by the Bloodbound Warriors, the Last Warrior Grey Wolf, and the world's most dangerous arachnid, the Red Scorpion. Mabo, come on board.
Now, obviously you've mentioned the Monster Factory, and for those who don't know, I would say it's one of the most prestigious training facilities for the world of professional wrestling. A lot of top names have come out of it. A lot of well-known names that people might not know. People think people just wandering off the streets, or just wander out of the performance center that the WWE has now. But they don't know about all the other places like the Monster Factory, like OVW, stuff like that. But sticking with the Monster Factory, what was it like for both of you walking in your first day, and what is it like to you now that you put in your time and you've been there?
If I might answer this one, because I originally started training at the Monster Factory, and it was several years ago that I begun my training. It's sort of a nice anecdote I sort of like to relate to people too. When I started, it was run by Pretty Boy Larry, owned by Pretty Boy Larry Sharp.
Right.
And the head trainers were Ed Atlas and Jim Molyneux, former ECW referee. They were the head trainers there. Now, when I started, it was literally a warehouse in Belmont, New Jersey, and there was no heat in the winter, and there was no air conditioning in the summer. I remember it was sort of mid-November when I had started training, and it was just starting to get cold, so it wasn't too bad. You know, you'd walk in there and you'd be training in 30, 40-degree weather. Well, November soon became December, December soon became January, and January, we know how, January gets in New Jersey. Some days you were in there, in 15 to 20-degree weather, and the old ring we had at the time was an old IWA crossover boxing wrestling ring, so it was very, very stiff. It's a 20 by 20, very, very stiff ring. So you can imagine opening up with bump drills, in 15-degree weather, and you see your breath and the steam's coming off your head and your whole body, and everything hurts because it's so cold in there. And in the summer we had quite the converse. What we had was, since there was no air conditioning, there was summers would be 100 degrees outside, and since we're in a warehouse, the sun would hit the black roof, and the heat would just translate inside, and it'd be 120 degrees inside the facility. And so we were wrestling and training in 120-degree weather inside the facility, where you'd go outside, get sick, come back in, dump some water on your head, get back in the ring, and it was the most brutal, grueling atmosphere for anybody to train in. If you could even make the comparison for the Rocky movies, Rocky. Think of Rocky. I think it was at 4, where the Russians training in the state-of-the-art facility, and you had Rocky doing lunges in the snow, and out in the barn. That's almost the equivalent of the sort of training we're doing. Punching bags of meat instead of punching bags. That's just sort of the training it was at the time. It's a very reputable school, send so many people to the top. Luckily, it's been taken over in the past several years. Now it's owned and operated, given personally by Larry Sharp to Danny Cage, who took over in 2011. And the facility now is just a night and day difference. It's the closest thing you'll have outside of the WWE's, facility they built in Florida. It's out in the Paulsboro Wrestling Club in Paulsboro, New Jersey, which is known as a wrestling town in New Jersey. That is the wrestling town in New Jersey. It's Paulsboro, New Jersey. Larry Sharp himself went to the Paulsboro Wrestling Club, which is now where the Monster Factories run. And there's completely padded amateur floors, so the floors are very nice. When you bump to the outside, you're not bumping on concrete. So you have very nice floors. The rings, brand new rings, brand new ropes and buckles, very, very nice rings. Full, gym, full weightlifting equipment in the back room. With very, very nice old-style bodybuilding weight equipment. I mean, the students coming up really don't know how good that they have it there. I mean, this is probably the most elite training facility I've seen, just as far as, accessibility to equipment, and they're always bringing in names who are doing seminars. Last year alone, we had Les Thatcher come in. We have Gerald Briscoe come in once a year, Brutal Bob Evans, Kevin Kelly, Jason Knight. I could go on with the list of names that they've brought in to do seminars. Powers of Pain came in, D'Lo Brown came in, Robbie E. came in, and they're always doing seminars and hosting different persons who have, been in the business in different ways. Right now, X-Pac is coming in and helping once in a while.
Nice.
Doing training. 3 trainers up here right now, 3 coaches. Bill Wiles from ECW, the Blue Meanie, and Ring of Honor's QT Marshall. As coaches, so you really have access to everything you could possibly want,
right?
At that facility. So it really is, compared to where I was, if it rained when I first started, you had to get big tubs, and we put tubs under the big totes, the plastic totes. You put them under where it was leaking, because we had to have 2 to 3 people carry these totes out the door, how this rainwater would leak in. That's just the way the facility was, and what Danny took and did with the place. It's now the reputable place it once was, years ago, where, the top people were coming out of it. And then we recently had a mention by even Jim Rawls as one of the top training schools to go to. So I really, really wanted to put that out there. And that was my experience when I first started. But I'm the Scorpion, if you want to continue.
Yes, absolutely. Like, I had a very similar situation where I was trained at the Wolf Den at 2565 Spring Valley Road in York, Pennsylvania, under Dudley Wolfman Baker. And just like he said, that's the experience I had. Now, coming into and I'm just lucky and so grateful and thankful that I had the opportunity to work at the Monster Factory, because it really was an eye-opener. It is a school first, promotion second. So what they do is they cater to the students there, and the object of the shows is actually to get these kids ready, and that's what they're doing. They're getting them ready for that next level. Unlike other places where they just want to, put you out there, they'll put you out there in whatever the hell you got to wear, even. I mean, which is sickening to me from what I see on the indies now. And you can't really trust who you're getting in the ring with. He protects those kids there, and he does. And I say that because he operates twice a month, so currently that is. So they don't necessarily have to go out there and work at other promotions and be subject to possibly getting injured from working with somebody that maybe wasn't trained properly. And everybody has their own style, and where I came from, I can say I do nothing different now that I didn't do then. So I was trained properly, but I didn't have the guidance quite like these kids have it now or had it as good. And I tell you what, Danny has taught me so much, because on my one match that I had, I remember he explained to me, and he says to me, you're the first match. You're the soup and salad. Don't go out there and try to do too much. And it took me a while to catch on and get that. I remember we pulled a little okie doke in one match that I had, where it was like you go to a finish, he counters, now you got him. And then I hit him with a what I call a tornado slam back to my which is nothing but a black hole slam. And then pop up, hit him with a pendulum elbow like I'm Austin Aries, and then he feeds up. That's like the John Cena 5-knuckle shuffle before he hits the attitude adjustment, which is my TK Scorpio. That's right. It's a TKO. That's just my twist on it. So he goes, you hit him with like 3 finishers in a row. He's like, you got such a pop off the black hole slam. You should have just pinged them then. And, you don't realize this because you want to, quote unquote, get your this shit, as we, when you are green. Now, even then I had probably like 2 years in. I only have total right now, I'm about 4 years in the business. So, again, it was, he really tries to guide you and put you on the right path to do the right things. Know your place on the card, because, you don't want to take away from the main event, and it should build, and I mean, everything's, like I said, from the show to the way the match is run, as far as, the face shine, the heel cut off, the comeback, the turnaround comeback and take it home. But, it's all the psychology. Again, it's such a blessing to be there, and I'm so grateful and thankful that I've had the opportunity to work there, because, like Braille Fed already said, they bring in so many people to help, and the only way you could really learn is to learn from the guys who've been there or where you're trying to get to. And that is so powerful. So powerful. Again, if it wasn't for the Monster Factory, I would have never got in front of Gerald Briscoe, head WWE scout. He then told me, have you trained at the Monster Factory? Because I'm a little long in the tooth. At Ring of Honor, have you tried out? And I said, no. He's like, try out because you're a star. So what did I do? I went and I tried out at Ring of Honor, and I did really good. And that's another story all in itself, because me and Grail, both of us did really well at our tryouts, and we were given the opportunity, knowing that we worked together, to actually do a live taping in Wheeling, West Virginia on September 27th that later aired October 11th on Ring of Honor on television. So you can watch that match on the Ring of Honor website with the Ringside membership, that is. But, those are the things and the powers that the Monster Factory has, and that's what they offer.
Maybo, come on back.
All right, now, for anybody who has seen either of you gentlemen, my personal opinion, but I'm sure anybody would agree, you guys are a couple of jacked up beasts. I mean, just when I saw, and we can actually, and Eddie will back me up, because when I saw you guys that night when it aired on Ring of Honor television, I believe it was October 11th, which was my birthday. The next night, I spoke with Eddie, and I said, I was like, oh, you got to check these guys out. They're beasts. They're huge. I want to know, what's the training regimen like, daily, weekly, what have you, for either of you to stay in that kind of physical condition,
Gray Wolf?
Well, as you know, we both said we don't have background in bodybuilding, and a bodybuilding regimen isn't just getting in the gym and lifting a couple of things. It's, focusing on growing your muscles in a specific way with a certain intensity and a certain amount of weight. So for me, it usually looks like 4 to 5 days a week in the gym, anywhere between an hour 45 minutes and 2.5 hours working out. And that's under, that's getting in the gym and going from the time you're there until the time you leave. You're going hard. I don't know if you're familiar with any IFBB pros.
Oh, yeah.
It's International Federation of Bodybuilding. You can look up some of the videos on YouTube as far as what the training regimens are. Look up somebody like, the most similar to mine might be, a Branch Warren, or somebody of that nature, just really intense, go in there, lift heavy weight, and throw it around as hard and as heavy as you can. And that's just how I go personally. For me, that's not the hard part. I'm used to being in pain constantly. I'm used to everything on my body hurting so bad because, of the intensity of my workout. And that's what a lot of people don't realize either, is, to look like this, you're always in some sort of pain. Something on your body always hurts, and not just from wrestling, just from the intensity of your workout routines in order to maintain this muscle. For me, that's the easy part. The hard part is the nutrition that comes along with having to maintain and the supplementation in order to maintain, what we do. If you look at us, I think it's a good comparison that when we walk in to any federation, wherever we are, what you see is usually people with bags from Wawa, or, they'll have, a sandwich from somewhere, or they'll be walking with cheese sticks, that's what maybe a protein bar, or, something of that nature. And we're walking in, both Scorpion and myself, fully loaded lunch boxes. And that's where one of the main differences lies as well, is, we all have our food prepared in advance, because you have to eat, and whether you want to, whether you don't want to, you have to eat every certain amount of hours, and we're on regimented eating as well. Yesterday alone I consumed 7 meals, because that's just what you have to do. Yeah. That's what you need in order to keep your body maintained to this sort of degree of muscularity. And for me, that's the hard part, is, eating. If I even have to think about chicken and rice right now, I want to get sick. But, my next meal is going to be when I have to go heat it up and, eat my chicken and eat my rice. Whether I want to or not. And it's eating foods you don't want to eat and having to eat them all the time. And, it got so sickening to me at one point. I was throwing chicken and rice in a blender, blending it with water and drinking it because I couldn't bear the taste of chewing it anymore. And that's just what, that's one of the things you have to indulge, really live this lifestyle. And drinking protein shakes, you don't want to drink. Drinking, pre-workout things, just popping, vitamins you don't want to have, horse pills that you don't want to have to pop, but you do. You have to do it.
Exactly.
So you have to do to maintain. And Scorpion, his regimen differs slightly from mine. If he wants to elaborate on his a bit, that's just an idea of sort of what mine is like.
It's funny he said about blending up chicken, because that's what I do now. I boil my chicken. After I cut all the fat off, I puree it, then I mix it with salsa and chicken and a little bit of adobo and sazon. And I mix that all together, and it makes it so much more enjoyable going down. It just slides down your throat, as opposed to sitting there and chewing it. Trust me, my jaws get so pumped from eating meat constantly all day. This is back when I was bodybuilding. It was every 3 hours, like he said, and it was a job. It was no longer enjoyable. It was never enjoyable. But with my early experience with powerlifting and bodybuilding, I was able to build a great physique, much of which many of these kids now are just trying to achieve, but I've already had it. So for me right now, it's about maintaining. I'm not killing myself in the gym anymore, although, just like Grey Wolf, I work out 3 to 4 times a week. Now, I do 3 to 4 times a week. I usually try to leave my Fridays for preparation, because in order to become the Red Scorpion, I literally start Thursday night, shaving, Friday night. I mean, it's a whole process. I mean, it's like getting my food together, all my luggage together, this and that. And have you ever seen our booth? Have you guys ever seen the Bloodbound Warrior merchandise booth? Oh, it's 12 foot of tables, baby. It's got so much merch on there. It has so much stuff to offer the fans, because that's what it's all about, is creating memories. Again, that comes from Danny Cage. That's what we are. We're in the business of creating memories. Yes. But again, back to the bodybuilding aspect of it, the food preparation, you are what you eat. I just, right before I got on this podcast with you guys, I was stuffing down that chicken salsa and broccoli. And I never leave home without that cooler. I have a little cooler, and it has everything in it. It got my everything I have in that cooler. It's kind of like my cell phone. If I lose that, I'm in trouble. But I'm just grateful that for now, like I said, I don't necessarily lift super duper heavy, but I do work out, and I probably work out harder than most. I train about 3 times a week with my wrestling training, and compete on the weekends because we are weekend warriors. And if we had the opportunity to do more, trust me, we would, because we love what we do.
And the love and the passion for pro wrestling has a lot to do with everything, because if you've got to have it in your heart, you got to have it in your soul, you got to have it in your spirit. It can't just be between the ears. It's got to be an all-encompassing thing for all of us, and that's one thing I've always said. Now, let me go ahead and shift topics just a little bit if I could. Both individually and and collectively, you've had some great moments in various parts of the country. And I want to go ahead and ask you to go ahead and lay out. It's like, if you were to lay out some of your favorite opponents, win, lose, or draw, individually and collectively. Red Scorpion, you first.
Okay. Yeah. One of my most memorable opponents was just recently. I believe it was in December. I had the opportunity to face the man beast Rhino.
Nice.
And I've had a couple. This is at Lancaster Championship Wrestling, and we're talking about singles competition now. But I've been in this feud with the Perfect Owner, Jason, the Perfect Owner Smith at LCW for quite some time at Lancaster Championship Wrestling for probably 2 years. We've been at it. And Rhino took the title from Shane Douglas, a title that was just given to him based on an arm injury that I sustained September 21st when I tore my bicep. Now, I successfully defended that title November 23rd, but then I had to still give up the title. Now, Rhino earned that title from Shane Douglas. It was just given to Shane Douglas. He earned it from Shane Douglas. We happened to be in a fatal four-way match for the title at this one show. And, you can learn so much from these guys that have been there, similar to these seminars. And that whole match, I didn't touch Rhino nor Shane Douglas, as if they'd almost like they didn't trust me. Because trust me, the Scorpion gets a little crazy sometimes. I get caught up in the moment, and I could potentially hurt somebody. That's what I'm thinking. They're thinking. Like, they didn't trust me enough to mix it up with me too much. The finish was a double spear. I speared Joseph Von Schmidt. He speared Shane Douglas. Double pin. Well, now we face off the following month, 1-on-1. And after that match, he says to me, Scorpion, that was so enjoyable. Man, I love you all. We had so much fun. And he I had to earn his respect. It wasn't given to me. I had to earn it. And that's what I did. And it was so much fun in a sense, like that, all I did was listen. Now, he played the heel card that night, even though technically we're both faces, but he gets away with it with the ECW thing. He gets away with that. He could choke me, and it's okay. But again, it was so much fun to work him. He's out there joking. Kurt Angle was actually the special guest referee. Another, just in all moment. It just was a surreal moment. It just was awesome to see these guys work. And Kurt Angle, I got to say this. I didn't not necessarily like Kurt Angle that much. I respect him as a wrestler. I remember actually watching tape on him as an amateur wrestler. But I just got a new perspective on him and a much more better appreciation because he actually took the time to critique everybody's match. Everybody that came back, he didn't even have to. They didn't have to ask him. He sat there and watched everybody's match. But that would be the most memorable moment is that match with Kurt Angle, the special guest referee, against Rhino. And again, I had so much fun and learned so much working that match. And Rhino stated afterwards he would work me anytime based on that performance. And that meant a lot to me.
Grey Wolf.
This is always a very difficult question for me to answer because there's so many different ways, different matches affect you. And there's so many opponents that you think, oh, that was one of the best experiences I ever had. There's nothing ever going to top it. And then something comes along and then something tops it. And, you know, there's some people I have respect for that I've wrestled with. And, you know, one of the toughest matches I've ever had was against the current Monster Factory Pro Wrestling heavyweight champion of the week, the Punisher Martinez. He was, throughout the years, one of my toughest adversaries, one of men I respect so well. And every time I go in the ring with him, it was always something special. And there's Andrew Steele, you know, from Delaware. And we are either the best of friends or the worst of enemies. And at one point we had a feud that lasted, you know, over a year. And the culmination of which was just one punch that nearly tore his head off. That was one of the biggest, loudest ovations I ever received, just the way the angle built up and the storyline built up. You know, that one time I turned and I punched him right in his face. You know, that was the moment I'll never forget it. You know, the way that the fans reacted during that one moment. I mean, so you always have these sort of moments. But one I'd sort of like to comment on, you know, was for singles especially is, you know, I'm friends with Pitbull Gary Wolf from ECW. Mentor to me, you know, friends to me, someone I respect so highly and so much. Well, a few months back, you know, last year, we had worked a show together in McAdoo, Pennsylvania. You know, it was just a big warehouse kind of place. You know, I'm not sure exactly even what they do out there. I know there's a flea market somewhere in there, but it's not the biggest promotion, not the best promotion. You know, sort of an upstart, just getting started in the business. But that night I had to main event the show with Pitbull Gary Wolf, and it wasn't in front of many people. But just because I have such a respect for him, and just because, you know, when you're friends with somebody, you have a different dynamic when you're in the ring with them. You have a certain connection with them as you're wrestling with them. You know, you're wrestling against them, you know, throw everything else aside, and you're trying to win the match is what it comes down to. And that's what it becomes about. You know, you have to cast the friendship aside, and it becomes about winning the match. You know, somebody I had so much respect for. I had the opportunity to work with him and learn so much from him in that match. But we went very hard. When I was 15 minutes, very hard match. Took to the outside. There was chairs involved, you know. And he, in that match, was the first and only person to ever make the Last Warrior Grey Wolf submit. So that's the only match. And people highlight, you know, matches that I've won. Well, I've won this belt or that belt. No, for this one, it's the only match, you know, I've ever tapped down submission. What happened was early in the match, he put me in his, you know, trademark crossface, and I was able to work my way to the ropes and grab the ropes. Well, the next time he did it was later in the match. So I came off the ropes and he reversed something and had me in the crossface again. I'm walking to the ropes. I go to grab the rope, and it's not there. The rope isn't there. I run to grab it again. It's not there. It's just out of my reach, and I can't get to it. I knew it was there, and I was walking to it, and it was just out of my. I came back and I reviewed the tape. The person, Christy Kiss, you know, his valet of the evening, had pulled the rope away as I was reaching for it, and I just couldn't grasp it. I had no opportunity. I couldn't find a way out of the hold. I had no choice but to tap out, you know, in submission. So one of my highlight matches is against, you know, a friend of mine, someone I respect very much, the Pitbull Gary Wolf. It's probably one of my highlight matches. Also, you know, wrestling in the ECW arena over this past summer, we had, you know, it was the Monster Factory's All-Stars. It was myself, Mark Cruz, and Mike Spanos from the Monster Factory against the Blue Meanie, who was receiving his Hall of Fame induction that night. Surprise guest Al Snow and Little Guido from ECW. So we got to face, you know, the three ECW originals in their very own home. And Blue Meanie happens to be a very good friend of mine also, you know, one of the coaches at the Monster Factory. We've, you know, done so much with him just outside of the wrestling world. They've become a good friend to us. And, you know, to have the opportunity also to wrestle him in his home, you know, and it makes you very grateful. It makes you very humble, you know, and it becomes something very special. You know, even though it might be something small for them, it's something you'll remember forever and always carry with you, you know. And not just because of who they are, but because, you know, when you become friends with somebody, it just becomes that much more special, you know, when you wrestle them in the ring and have that moment, you know, and it means something more to you. And I can say that with any people who are, you know, Red Scorpion also. The matches we've had, we're like brothers now, and some of the most, you know, my favorite matches were with him, you know, in front of not many people. But it was just those moments that you capture that mean so much to you, you know, that you'll never forget.
Individually and no cheating off by looking on the other's paper. Grey Wolf, I'll go to you first on this one. Your personal Mount Rushmore of tag team wrestling.
Mount Rushmore of tag team wrestling. Now, since there's 4 people on Mount Rushmore, there's 4 tag teams that we're putting on Mount Rushmore, or are we putting 4 individual people on Mount
4
Rushmore?
tag teams. 4 tag teams.
4 tag teams on Mount Rushmore. That's going to be a difficult one. That's a really difficult one. Road Warriors, obviously. I mean, one of the best tag teams in existence. I'd have to say Fabulous Freebirds would easily be up there. As far as tag team dynamics and chemistry and just being able to work a crowd and have solid work, I have to put the Fabulous, even though they're technically a 3-man tag team most of the time. I would definitely have to put them on the wall there. Not the biggest fan of the style because it's not the style I would specifically strive to emulate, but with so much respect for what it did for the business, I'd throw the Rockers, Shawn Michaels, Monty Jannetty, probably on there. And as for a third or a fourth, do I even pick for a fourth?
Everybody gets stuck on that fourth one. Trust me,
Everybody gets stuck on the fourth one.
You're not alone. You're not alone.
Who would I even pick as the fourth? Maybe the Von Erichs.
Which combination?
Just because of what they... What's that?
Which combination? The 6-man version or the go full family?
I'd say the 6-man version.
Okay.
So that'd probably have to be my selection.
Okay. Red Scorpion, same question. And no cheating.
Yeah. So for me, I always enjoyed bad guys. I like Skeletor. I was a fan of Cobra. And I would have to say, first I'd have to say Demolition. The Mask, when they came out, the painted faces, they were badass, Then I'd have to say Legion of Doom, because those guys were pure intimidation and destruction. With the spiked shoulder pads, the face paint, loved it. Huge fan of Muscle too, obviously, as I was, as a kid. Third, and this is in no particular order either, I want to just say.
Right.
But I'd have to say a third one would have to be, I would have to say Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage, for sure. Again, because of just what they've done in the business and even their feud afterwards. It was so memorable and, just added so much to professional wrestling at the time. I just have to put those two in there. And lastly, I'm going to say, here goes that fourth one, right?
Right.
Fourth one gets everyone. And watch, I'll go back and say, why didn't I say so-and-so? Damn it. Let's go with the Bulldogs.
Nice.
The British. No. Better yet, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
This is what I wanted to say. I want to say, they get an honorable mention, we'll say. But the Steiner brothers.
Okay.
Oh, yes, the Steiner brothers. Oh, man. Scott Steiner was a monster. And his brother was equally so. But they brought that amateur background to the professional ranks, and they did so much. I mean, they were fun to watch. They were something to watch in Japan, and I just, again, Scott Steiner, I'm a huge fan of him. He is raw. I mean, some of his promos, and I'm talking singles now, but he is just raw. That's all. That's what I'll go with.
I just looked. I cannot believe the fact that an hour has flown by this fast, guys. First off, I want to say thank you very much for being generous with the time. We could easily go another 2 hours and still not. I genuinely, because in my book we haven't really scratched the surface of everything we wanted to touch on. But you know something? I've had a hell of a lot of fun, and I hope you'll accept an invitation and come back and join us again sometime.
I'd be more than happy to be honest.
And before we let you run, do me a favor. I know you've both got upcoming appearances, and I told you off air, I'm going to tell you on air. Be shameless. Grey Wolf, I'll go in your direction first. Upcoming appearances, and how can people get in touch with you?
Well, this is, there's sort of going to be an overlap because all of our upcoming appearances happen to be together.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
But to get a hold of us, and we'll go into this after. I'll put my personal information out there first. If you'd like to get a hold of me on Facebook, my personal account is, facebook.com/xGrayWolfX. That's with Grey Wolf with an E. I'm not on there as much as I'd like to be, but I will, go and check the messages people have left to me when I can. If you want to know our coming dates and event schedules and just what's going in the world of, the Last Warrior Grey Wolf, I'm pretty active on my fan page. That's facebook.com/t.l.w Grey Wolf. And I'm just starting to get used to the Twitter, and so you can follow me on there, on the Twitter it's at TLW_Grey Wolf. So you can get a hold of me that way. That's my personal information. Scorpion, if you want to give him your personal contact.
You could like me on Facebook, on my fan page, The Red Scorpion, Mark Hazel. Also, follow me on or subscribe to the YouTube channel, which you'll also see the Bloodbound Warriors tag team matches, and that is The Red Scorpion, Mark Hazel as well. Twitter, at Red Scorpion 717. And you mentioned our Bloodbound Warrior, I'm sure, right? Our Twitter account?
I didn't mention either the Facebook fan page or the joint Twitter account. I thought you would.
Okay, so Facebook fan page for the Bloodbound Warriors is the Bloodbound Warriors. Just put it in. You'll find us. Also, Twitter handle is at Bloodbound War. And as far as my upcoming appearances, again, we're going to be doing so much together, which is so awesome. But next, we're at actually ECWA on Sunday at 2 p.m., I believe. Now, I have to work that day, so that is actually a rescheduled event because of the weather this past weekend. But we're then again, that is if we get our information in, but it is that we're going to be in Virginia on the 7th, March 7th, that is, because we need licenses. That sucks. The 14th, we're going to be back at the Monster Factory. The 21st, then we're going to be at the UWE in Harrisburg in a ladders match. Go figure. And guess what? If we get that briefcase, we can cash that thing in for at a shot at the tag team championship there. So that's another one. And then on the 28th, that I'm not really sure about. I think, is that another Monster Factory date? Do you know?
And maybe the Monster Factory date. They run twice a month, so it most likely is.
Yeah.
I believe it is. Yes, it is. Yeah. It is. It's the 2 p.m. show.
Good. Okay, so we'll be there as well. So there goes for the month of March. Bloodbound Warriors, Red Scorpion, Grey Wolf.
Gentlemen,
that's the Warrior.
It has been a definite pleasure. Like I said, I hope you'll accept an invitation and come back and join us again down the road.
We'd be more than happy.
Ladies and gentlemen, our very special guest at this time, the Last Warrior Grey Wolf, the world's most dangerous arachnid. I knew I'd get a stumble in there somewhere. Damn it, I hate it when that happens. The Red Scorpion, known as the Bloodbound Warriors, have just gone beyond ringside. Hang with us, going to the top of the hour break, and we'll be back. This is Beyond Ringside Live.
When planning your next party or special event, insist on the best. Full Range Entertainment is a professional entertainment company providing a full range of services. From professional disc jockeys and MCs to catering and photography, when the details of your special day must be perfect, call us first. Wedding receptions, corporate parties, school functions, birthday celebrations, and more. We also have Birmingham's largest selection of karaoke tracks available. With over 40 years combined experience, Full Range Entertainment can provide you with the talent and professionalism you need and deserve to make your next event one you'll never forget. For more information on the full range of services we offer, call 533-HITS. That's 533-HITS. Or check us out on our website at fullrangeentertainment.com.
This is Merciless Ray Mercer, Olympic gold medalist and board member of Find the Dream, and you're locked into Beyond Ringside.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Smart Rage from Wrestle Rage Radio, coming to you from the Beyond Ringside Radio Network. Join myself and my co-host, Super Stan Grubb, Sunday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern as we present Wrestle Rage Radio, where we rant and rave on everything in the world of pro wrestling. Sometimes we'll have a guest. Sometimes it'll be just me and Stan BSing about the sport that we love, pro wrestling. Check us out. Tune in Sunday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, only on the Beyond Ringside Network.
This is Danny Cage from the world famous Monster Factory, and you're locked in to Beyond Ringside.
Hey, this is Stuart Couch from the Cause and Effect Thursday Night Throwdown. Catch us here every Thursday night, 7 p.m. Central on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
Sunday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern here on BeyondRingside.com. Join us for the Midnight Black Mass. Myself, the Reverend Dan Wilson, brings you the dark gospel of professional wrestling. Uncensored, unedited, uncut, and not for the faint of heart. You can find out more about us at youtube.com/pottyhumor or subscribe at Potty Humor on iTunes and Stitcher today.
This is the Crowd Wrestler fan, the authority named Wills. Yes, sir, and believe me, you're locked in to Beyond Ringside.
Howdy, friends. This is the Magic City Motor Mouth, Fast Eddie Lane.
And I'm the Cause, Robert Cosper.
And this is your invitation to join us
and the Hitman, Big Daddy Cool, Ryan Adcock, right here for the Saturday Showcase.
At Saturday mornings, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10, 9, 8 a.m. Pacific time. See, we do math around this place. Be sure to catch us right here on BeyondRingside.com. You can also listen through Winamp for Android and BlackBerry, as well as the Shoutcast mobile app for Apple as well. Remember, that's Saturday mornings, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, right here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
And let me tell you how you can find the Hitman, Big Daddy Cool, Ryan Adcock on social media. It's very easy. It's at www.kissmyass.
Whoa. Stop that right there. Folks, we'll see you Saturday on the Showcase. Bye for now.
This is Angel Orsini.
This is the Human Hand Grenade, Danny Only.
This is Dirty Dutch Mantel.
This is Liz Savage.
This is Vinny O'Brien, 2010 Golden Glove champion. This is Gabe Sapolsky from Dragon Gate USA and Evolve Pro Wrestling, and you're locked into Beyond Ringside.
Set and ready to roll. Live from Studio One in a multiple location station. Beyond Ringside Live rolls on Fast Eddie Lane over here. Mark Mabo Bowman, welcome back, buddy.
So it was and no, I'm not yawning because of anything. I'm just a little tired. But no, great. Just wonderful, insightful, amazing interview from Grey Wolf and Red Scorpion of the Bloodbound Warriors.
I knew sooner or later I'd mispronounce something, and I hate it.
You'll be all right. But, I mean, like, it's like Eddie said, we could have easily gone, another hour or so.
Oh, God, yeah.
Because there's, so many more questions that I would have, loved to ask them, get their insight on. Because, it's very rare we have tag teams on at the same time. So, it's kind of a treat when we get to, it's almost, almost like it's picking the same brain and getting two different answers, with a question, but it's I'd love to have them back on, just do follow-up questions about where they see themselves in X amount of years, where they would like to tour next. Because I think those guys, honestly, I think the Bloodbound Warriors, if they've not already ventured either across the pond and hit any of the European companies, especially the British, Scottish, Irish companies. I think those guys would do, because they have the size and the intimidation factor. I would like to see them do some business over in Japan, either for New Japan or more specifically All Japan.
I'm actually very appreciative of the fact that Ring of Honor put them on in a national format, because because you can tell. When you watch them in ring, you can tell they put in the work. You can tell they put in the work together. And they weren't. They have a definite gel factor to them that newer tag teams often have a tendency to miss, and that is one of the tricks about tag team wrestling. It's like either you're going to have it, you can cultivate it, or you've got it, or you ain't got nothing. Because, and like I think, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
When I watch them work, when I've watched them work on Ring of Honor, and when I've watched different videos with them in it, they've got a good chemistry to them, and that's one of the things that actually, and that's to me a saving grace of tag team wrestling, because if you've got two teams that have chemistry within themselves and can build the chemistry for the in-ring work together, that just makes it that much better, and it's a win-win situation.
Oh, and I can tell you right now, I think it would be, it would do the Ring of Honor. It would be such in their favor if they would, bring them on as regulars.
I'd like to see them back.
I don't know what, huh?
I'd like to see them back on there.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I think they would be. It would give such a better variety and a better flavor to the tag team division in Ring of Honor, because right now you got like Red Dragon, Time Splitters. You got they do the you got the little flippy dippy little speed guys or whatever, but then you got like the Briscoes, who don't really do much of the flippy dippy, but just to give yourself a good raw power beast of a team, who obviously can also do the technical style when need be.
Even though
a little chain action there, I think honestly, Ring of Honor. I'm not trying to crap on Ring of Honor, but I think Ring of Honor, it would be in their best interest if they picked the Bloodbound Warriors up, maybe put a little bit more cash behind them, put a little bit more investment in them, because I think they are both, and this is not just they were just on or whatever. No, I'm not trying to kiss their butts or anything. This is my honest opinion. This is me, for once being positive and elevating somebody on this show outside of the Chikara. This is me being dead honest, that I think that this is a team who, I'm not going to say best kept secret. I can say that.
Go ahead.
I can say that this is a team that is being underutilized in more of a major market like a Ring of Honor or TNA or what have you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'd like to say...
If Eddie's arch nemesis, Jeff Jarrett, ever fires up Global Wrestling Force... Okay, the company, the Voldemort of pro wrestling that Eddie, that shall not be named... I think if there's just a company that would take the time and put in the effort, you could have such a phenomenal tag team, and I would say they would be a tremendous building block for a tag division. If people are like, if you were to start up a company, who would you use, as a building block for your singles, for your women's division, for whatever. I would, honestly, Bloodbound Warriors, Red Scorpion, Grey Wolf, I would use them as a cornerstone to start building a tag team division around.
I'm with you.
Eddie?
I'm with you.
Oh God, I was like, did he stroke out, man?
No, I'd accidentally stepped on you 3 different times, and I wanted to make sure you were at the end of a sentence and took a breath before I opened my mouth again. So I apologize for stepping on you.
That's okay. I said the words Jeff Jarrett. I didn't know if you had an aneurysm and passed out.
No, but one is approaching. Thanks for playing. Meanwhile, back at the ranch. Ass.
Look.
Hold on. Let's see. 148.11.
Huh?
148.11. There's an edit point right there. I'll fix that in post.
Look, just because he stole your girlfriend in high school and pushed you down and kicked sand in your face at the beach, and you got to subscribe to Charles Atlas to get a bodybuilding book.
That's okay. He just talked bad about my mama. I had to whip his ass.
Oh no, somebody needs to talk to him about that weird outfit he used to wear when he had the long blonde hair. I never understood that. I mean, yeah, he had the long tights or whatever, but what was that weird shredded transvestite drag queen top that he'd always wear that was, I never got that. It was just weird.
Yeah, it looks like something that the crossdresser would wear on Lucha Underground nowadays.
Yeah, it's like it was unnecessary ventilation.
Coming back into real wrestling that does exist in this day and age, even if it is sports entertainment, knowing the fact that it is currently...
Shots fired, officer down. We believe the victim to be a male, blonde.
Shut up!
Mid-40s, very little talent, had a guitar with him.
Ding dong, the match is on air right now, but let's call it anyway. Who did you pick to go over in the 6-man tag team match? Team recycled or team rehired?
I think it's going to be team rehired.
I originally thought it was...
Oh my God, that was the world's worst Luthez press by Ryback.
I think I'm a few seconds behind you. Yeah, because I've got him running across the ring with his with Rollins on his shoulders, and then duck underneath, go over. There's the Luthez press. Wasn't horrible. He just didn't follow it all the way down.
Well, it's like he didn't really, and it's kind of just like he rode him down. He didn't cover him. He didn't go to like a full body cover.
Yeah, like Gail Kim knees to the shoulders.
Yeah, thank you.
Don't think you have been on air since this occurred. Well, you might have. I think it happened on Tuesday, and we were talking about it. Samoa Joe.
Did we? No. No, that wasn't on Tuesday. No, yeah, it was because we talked about him going to
Yeah, how cool I thought it would be for him to either show up to last night in Ring of Honor in Atlanta or at the ROH pay-per-view, which is going to be in Las Vegas, Nevada, 1 week from tonight, March 1st.
Yeah, because we had talked about that. I wouldn't surprise me, but no, it's word's coming around, kind of like I said Tuesday night. He's looking to either do an ROH return or head over to Japan.
I would love to see Joe in ROH, and like I said, Joe would be a tremendous addition, especially to the lineup that was there last night. I'm going to go ahead and run this one down. Last night, Caprice Coleman defeated Mike Posey. Great to see Mike Posey, even as Mike has a new gimmick, and he is from the most ghetto portion of Trussville, Alabama, and I'll leave it at that. Do-rag and all, don't say it. But I will say this, between Mike Posey and Caprice Coleman, great match. These two genuinely talented individuals who can light it up at the drop of a hat. Had a chance to speak to Caprice last night before the show. Had a chance to catch Posey as a little bit after the show. Always great to see both gentlemen, and actually going to work on getting Caprice back on in about 3 weeks from now. Corey Hollis, originally in one-on-one action against Jonathan Gresham last night. That match ended in a no contest when B.J. Whitmer...
John Gresham, sorry, I mean to cut you off there, but Jonathan Gresham, that's a hell of a talent right there. To me, Jonathan Gresham is another one of those that he's one of those that when you discover him, you can't wrap your head around why he's not more prominent in a major company.
Right. I can agree with that. And until the point where B.J. Whitmer and Adam Page interfered, they were having a very good match. And lo and behold, it turned around from there, and from there, Corey and Jonathan, actually Corey on behalf of Jonathan, issued the challenge to the decade to come out and make it a tag team challenge or a tag team match. So they did. And I will say this, tag team wrestling last night had the gods of wrestling had a reason to smile. Because in a circumstance like that, when you've got B.J. Whitmer, who has come back full circle as far as in-ring, as far as attitude. I mean, you know me. There was a point where I was like, dude, this just isn't suitable for television. It's not that good as far as what B.J. Whitmer was doing for a while there. The extraordinarily gruff, bitter, whatever you want to call it. It's like, that's just not good TV. I mean, it can be part of your character all day long, but it's just not good television. It needs to be a little bit less harsh, which is what it was. And since then, Whitmer has actually brought it back into a management. You can be a heel all day long, but you have to be a saleable heel. And what Whitmer was doing for a while just was not saleable in my book. But that's in the past. Let it go. Good luck with that. Adam Page, B.J. Whitmer, Corey Hollis, John Gresham. I'm going to use the phrase, tore the house down. Absolutely. But I'm going to sit back and say this. Every match last night was solid. There was not a bad match on the card. It was all good wrestling. It was all fun to watch. And yes, I'm going to use the phrase that you're probably going to kill me for. Dude, you'd have had a blast. One-on-one action last night. Reborn. Matt Seidel, son of a buzzard.
Not to be confused with his legitimate brother, Mike Seidel.
There you go. Matt Seidel took on Delirious.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, see, now that right there, that gives me the old wrestling boner right there, buddy. Because, I mean, those guys back in the I would say not really too early 2000s, but right around that,
Wrestling Society X.
2000, I mean, just the early part of the 2000s, IWA Mid-South, I want to say Gateway.
Okay.
It's out of Missouri. It's not Missouri. Maybe it is Missouri. I think it is Missouri. Yeah, they're GCW. I think they were Gateway Championship Wrestling.
Right.
God, where else? Just I want to say Ring of Honor.
Randy Orton returned.
What?
Randy Orton. Spoiler alert: Randy Orton returns now.
Oh, I'm watching. I know I'm watching it, and apparently Big Show's trying to depant Seth Rollins.
There you go.
But yeah, Seidel and Delirious, they were a tag team. And just and then to compete against each other. Though, if you were in attendance in Atlanta and you got to see that, then you were treated to probably, I would say, no less than a 4 to 5 star match. And
right.
I think they only go up to 5 stars these days. So
you can make a 6 star for that one.
Oh, definitely.
20-minute start to finish, tremendous action in the ring. And that's something that you don't see Delirious on television that often. You do see Matt Seidel. And the thing about it is the two of them obviously had a great chemistry to them. They even used the same color teal green.
Yeah, that was one of the sticking points, though, when they were teaming together. They always had that greenish color scheme going for them.
Yeah, they did last night. I love the outfit Delirious had on. That was absolutely incredible. Last night, Atlanta, Georgia, Ring of Honor, Roderick Strong versus Kyle O'Reilly. And once again, case point scenario, they just absolutely left it all out there. It was a beautiful match from start to finish, play to each other's strengths, and just the flow, the continuity was absolutely there and genuinely enjoyable from start to finish. Roderick Strong picking up the win on that one. Moose versus ACH. It's a solid matchup that, once again, I'm going to sit back and say this. ACH can take a paper bag and make it look like world championship material because he is that damn good. He is that skilled. He is that talented. Moose still a little bit on the raw side as far as overall goes. He has gotten he's developing in a great way. Thank you. But from there last night, the match, ACH played to the strengths of Moose, and you knew that Moose was not going to lose in Atlanta. Duh. But I'll tell you this, they made it look damn good, start to finish. After the match, Stokely stayed in the ring to berate ACH. ACH, at the end of the day, may have lost the match, but won the war against Hathaway when he popped the 450 and the crowd came out of their chairs. 6-man scramble match. Cedric Alexander, Will Ferrara, Michael Elgin, Jay Lethal, Warbeard Hansen. And I'm just going, boy. I'm going to lay this one out there. That was your don't blink match of the month. Because, plain and simple, I mean, it was nonstop. And all 6 men just absolutely tore it up. It was fun to watch. Nobody was in their chairs because the action took place in ring left, ring right, ring back, ring front. Didn't matter. There was something going on through every minute of the match. AJ Styles and Bobby Fish. Oh, boy. This would have been a pay-per-view quality match for any company. I don't care, Vince. Plain and simple. Because these two, like I said, just worked a dream match. And in the main event, Tag Team Armageddon, 2 out of 3 falls, the Briscoes versus the Kingdom, Taven and Bennett. And Maria was extraordinarily covered up for the occasion, which was depressing for me. But other than that, the outfit looked great. The Kingdom actually went over 2 falls. They got the victory last night. Going into, and of course, this being the week before 13th anniversary, that's going to say a lot for the direction that the Kingdom's going to go in, and the Briscoes are going to go in coming into the pay-per-view. But last night, I will tell you this: tickets were only $25 where we were, and we were on 5th row. Myself, Hitman, and Smart Rage, and none of us, believe it or not, none of us. There were no negatives coming out of last night. It was even, like I said, had a chance to talk to Murder One, Danny Only, Sugar Dunkerton. I mean, Chip Day, Bill Behrens, Stevie Richards was there.
No way.
Yes.
Dancing Stevie Richards.
Stevie Richards was there.
ECW Stevie Richards.
That guy.
Right to Censor Steven Richards.
Yes.
And you couldn't bother to call me, knowing
it would have taken you 2 hours to get there.
I didn't say I was going to drive. I was just knowing that Stevie Richards is a Blue Meanie, one of my favorite ECW tag teams, right behind Public Enemy.
No.
I'm hurt. I'm wounded.
And my camera on my phone decided to really fritz out last night, which is a pain in the ass. So I didn't even get a chance to get really good pictures. The ticket said no cameras, so I did not take my camera in, and yet 2 seats down and up an aisle, a woman was shooting with a camera all night long, and I was pissed to the nist.
That doesn't make sense. So why wouldn't you want to have cameras?
Hmm?
I mean, like recording, yeah, I can understand that, but why wouldn't you want to take pictures of your favorite Ring of Honor stars in action?
They were afraid people were going to shoot video.
Well, I mean, but still, it's very rare that Ring of Honor makes its way to the South. So
They're coming back on August 29th.
I'll be dead by then.
No, you won't, you ass. Tell you what, let's take care of predictions for the balance of the WWE Network purview. John Cena, Rusev.
All right, I'm gonna say right now. Hold on, my prediction right now: Goldust is going to tell Dusty that he's going to do something to his brother, who said he's no longer alive.
Okay, well, you're watching the promo, so that doesn't count. Cena versus Rusev, U.S. title.
I'm gonna say Rusev.
Divas match, Paige Dinky.
Did you say Stinky? Did you call her Stinky?
Oh, and for the record, yes, I do predict Rusev. I've got Rusev on this match. Paige versus Stinky. Oh, wait, that's the other one.
No, what is it? No, they're Icky and...
Icky and Tricky.
I don't know what they call it. No, they call Bree something else, but yeah, there's Icky Bella. What the blue hell?
Hurry.
I can't even. I'm just distracted by what he's got on.
Okay.
I would like Paige to win, but it's probably going to be Nikki.
I would definitely enjoy the factor of Paige winning if I actually gave a damn about the match. Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan.
I don't even know what to say.
You can pass.
I'm just gonna have to abstain.
Me too. Wade Barrett, Dean Ambrose.
Dean's track record. If Dean wins, it's going to be by disqualification because his clean pinfall victory pay-per-view record is just in the pooper.
I'll go with Wade Barrett on this one, but I think they are setting up for the match at Mania. Tag Team Championship match, Usos versus no first name kid.
Cesaro. You talking about? Are you talking about the Brass Ring Club?
Yeah, the Brass Ring Club. There you go. I like that.
Well, that's what they're calling themselves.
Okay, I didn't know that.
I'm gonna say Usos. I think they. I mean, it wouldn't be surprised me if they put the titles on Cesaro and Kid. I would honestly not be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised with it either.
But you know me, I got to go with Us, so I'm going with Usos.
Okay. I'm going Brass Ring Club. Goldust versus Stardust.
I don't even know because I'm distracted by what Stardust looks like right now. I'm gonna say Stardust, and then Goldust picks up the victory at WrestleMania.
Works for me. Bows out gracefully. Of course, he probably would put it. No, he'll probably put his brother over at Mania. I'm taking Goldust tonight, but not by much.
Okay, then let's put it this way. Whoever wins tonight will lose at WrestleMania.
Okay, they'll give Goldust tonight. He'll lose at WrestleMania. Because the brother's staying and Goldust retiring.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. But this is just disturbing.
Okay. Well, let me go ahead and disturb you a little bit longer because we're headed for that stretch. Mark Bowman. Last call.
Yeah, I want to know why Stardust looks like a creator wrestler.
Maybe he does.
That's all I got.
Seriously, is that it?
Yeah, we're trying to wrap it up.
Oh, well, you can do what you normally do, pick a point and run with it for a minute. You're more than welcome to. I'm just saying we're going to start heading for the Radio Ranch.
Well, no, I mean, let's just go ahead and wrap it. He's got on blue lipstick. Actually, I really don't have any points. I'm sure there was something I was going to bring up. Oh my God, yes. Not really so much a point, but a shout out. If Wicked was here, he'd start singing the song.
Oh, you make me want to shout.
No, not that. For those who, if you know, you know. If you don't know, you don't know. News coming out of AIW, Absolute Intense Wrestling, Friday night, I believe.
Yeah.
He's been on the show with us. Started out in Chikara. Tim Donst had to vacate his title. Unfortunately, they found a tumor in his kidney. Not on, in his kidney. And so for the foreseeable future, he is having to step away. I guess so they can do the surgery, so they can see if it's cancerous or not. Everything that comes with that whole world. But, we've had Tim, interviewed him when he was up here at Deep South. Believe we've had him call in a time or two. But it's just such a shame because, the guy, he loves wrestling. He's, it sucks because it was almost like he was on this is my personal opinion, it was like he was on a resurgence, the pendulum was swinging back up, and his career is being cut short. I mean, from what I heard, everybody's saying, this cat spent all last week before his appearance, Friday night with AIW, and I choose you. By the way, Dennis Stamp, he was finally booked. To see, that from everything I've heard, he spent the entire week in the hospital. If you go back and look at his Twitter, he was in the hospital the entire week dealing with this. And he comes out and, I think he ended up having to abdicate. Like I said, he had to vacate the title that he had. But, there's a lot of concern that, if the cancer is spread outside of the kidney, what are they going to do then? It's like chemo. If they do, they're going to have to remove the kidney. There's a great chance. Like I said, I'm still trying to follow everything. But, his career, their wrestling career is over because if he takes a bump and it shuts his kidney down, his one working kidney, he's on dialysis for the rest of his life, and that definitely puts him out.
Right.
So, but just to see the outpouring of well wishes, not just from fans, but people in the business. Mick Foley, if you can go look on Facebook or on Twitter, I can't remember which one. Mick Foley had put a nicely worded, just get well and stay strong, and things are going to work out. That kind of shtick to Tim Donst. So whatever if you're the type that prays, keep him and his family in your thoughts and prayers. If you send out positive vibes, whatever your way is of putting out positivity in the universe, if you could just direct it towards him. He's on Twitter at @TDonst, DONS, Donst. Yeah, sorry, I just had to spell it in my brain. He's at @TDONST over on Twitter, or you can look him up, Tim Donst, on Facebook. But and go YouTube his stuff. I know him from Chikara, but he's done he's worked for numerous other companies, and he was actually getting ready to debut in CZW, a company that he said himself that it was, that was for one of the first shows he ever saw was a CZW show, and he was getting ready to make his debut for him. So, if you're listening, keep him in your thoughts, pass on words of encouragement, and definitely go check out his work that's available, that you can see on YouTube. Or you know what? Don't be an a-hole. Don't watch the free stuff. Go buy a DVD. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
If he's got merch, go support him. If you like his work, go purchase some of his merchandise. The end.
Okay.
I don't know if Eddie was eating a sandwich or whatever. I don't want to.
No, I'm actually about to go eat dinner in just a minute. Yeah, I've been struggling for the last few minutes trying to figure out exactly what I wanted to say to follow that up with. And there are genuinely some moments that do leave me speechless. So I will say, Tim, from me and my house, our very best, and like I said, definitely will be included in prayers. And my thoughts and prayers go to you, your family, and inner circle of friends. Because, dude, like I said, I'll pull for you 110%, and I hope everything works out for the best. But I'll sit back and say it like this: even if the in-ring career is over, because of the health concerns, which, based on this situation, there would be quite a few. I've had a chance to speak with Tim on more than one occasion. Tremendous young man. And, being able to hang out with him and talk with him down at the LXW show here in Sylacauga, Alabama, a while back, which I had to hornswoggle Mabo into doing the full interview with him. He's like, I'm going to kill you. No, you're not. You're going to do the interview. Then you'll kill me. Okay. But you never did kill me. So thank you. But
only because I haven't burned my fingerprints off.
There you go. Yeah, actually. And I thought I sent you, did I ever send you the picture of you and Tim?
No, you never did.
I will look for it. And speaking of people who are great,
I'm sure I'll look extra fat in it.
No. But yeah, getting ready to go 20 minutes before the top of the hour on this 22nd. Wow, what a way to end the show. Sorry but I appreciate you bringing that to my attention. I really do. I did not know about it. I have intentionally stayed kind of back away from social media for the last few days. And probably about the last week and a half. Little things here and there, but nothing major. I haven't checked timelines or anything like that. And if it's not in messages, I don't see it.
See, kids, just when you think maybe I was going to say something stupid, ridiculous, asinine, disgusting, disturbing, perverted, or just downright makes you want to go, ugh, just when you think he's going to do something like that, he speaks from the heart and says something sweet, a little bit depressing, but you know what? Regardless, I do. The people who I do kind of follow their careers, I genuinely do give a crap about them. And, not to bum anybody out, because we all know cancer is a very serious situation.
Yeah.
That's something, look, I'll joke about tons of things. I'll make dead baby jokes all day. I will. I don't care. But, cancer is something you don't really joke about. I know for some people, it's a sensitive subject. It's a sensitive subject regardless. But there's some people who it's hit closer to home than others, and so that's one of the few things I won't joke about. And when something happens like this, a promising career, when it's cut short, I can't take it away. I don't have the powers to sit there and go, hey Tim, come here, whoop, and it's gone. If I could, I would. But, if maybe we can make, us as wrestling fans, because we're all wrestling fans at heart, even everybody at you John Cena, you Roman Reigns, and all the, every guy up there at the top, to everybody down at the, even the quote-unquote outlaw promotions, everybody, doesn't matter what you do in this business, you are a wrestling fan first and a wrestling fan at heart, so I figure if we could put our differences aside as a community, not just the quote unquote internet wrestling community, But as a community of wrestling fans, if we could just, all take a moment and, wish Tim the best and, just keep him in our thoughts and prayers. Just kind of help lift him up because he's going through some dark times. So, and apparently I missed the match.
No, I'm with you. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what I missed in the match too, but it happens that way sometimes.
It's what happens when I roll over in the opposite direction of the bed or the TV. Here we go. Oh, and it's a nope, and then it's a thing, and then the guy with the paint and the pen.
There you go.
Oh, see. Wait, what did I say? Did I say Dusty was going over? Or did I say Dustin was going over?
I said Goldust was going over tonight, and he loses at the pay-per-view.
And what did I say? Stardust tonight, Goldust at pay-per-view?
Yep.
Okay. So I get confused on my own predictions.
Swing and a miss. Strike one. Tell you what, let's go ahead and take it home real quick, folks. I want to run things down. If I could, live programming will continue Tuesday night, 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time is Beyond Ringside Back to Basics. And once again, that is February 24th. As yours truly takes over the helm of BR Back to Basics, I will be joined by a longtime friend of the BR family who we also know from another broadcast network in previous days. Looking forward to having Bambi on this coming Tuesday night. We are working on a situation right now. We originally had one person that we were hoping to get on, but we have a backup plan in place, and things are going to come to fruition. Keep your eyes open on the social media sites. I'll pass the word along. From there, Wednesday, February the 25th, 9 p.m. Central, the To Be Determined show, starring the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, along with the Grand Design Clyde Braddock and Angie Travis, maybe even Steven Stiles. Looking forward to that. And, of course, on Thursdays, 7 p.m. Central Time, Cause and Effect present the Thursday Night Radio Throwdown. Thank you to everybody who has been listening through the Beyond Ringside Radio app for Android, Amazon, and BlackBerry. Apple users, I'm trying. I really am. I'm really trying. So please bear with me, and I thank you for your patience and joining me in my perseverance and yours as well. On the replay side of life, as I like to call it, you can catch us on the media page at beyondringside.com. You can catch us at iTunes, Podomatic, Spreaker, Stitcher, and iHeartRadio. On the live side, of course, you can also still catch us. TuneIn, one word, TuneIn Radio mobile app, available cross-format, especially for Apple, as well as Shoutcast, Shoutcast Mobile, Winamp, Ustream, and Ustream Mobile, also through beyondringside.com. Mabo, shameless plugs.
Nope.
You're not going to do Wix?
He's a grown man.
Okay.
Let's see. No, I usually just do the wrap-up. I don't know, what is it? On Facebook, Enochtarian, ENOCHTSARION, at Wicked Nemesis over on the Twitters. Follow the Sevenfold Saints over on Facebook. Go like their fan page. Does Wicked have a fan page? I think he does.
Yeah.
He should, if he hadn't. And the Unlucky Charms. Go like all those Facebook pages. The To Be Determined show this Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Central. All the other time zones are an hour
on
ahead,
their own.
1 to 2 hours behind us. Huh?
On their own.
No, I'm just going to change it up. Yeah, I really don't got nothing else. I can't remember all his stuff. Does he have a website anymore?
No.
No, come on, Dusty. How you gonna let your kid attack your other kid like that? Oh, come on, Cody. Stop hitting him, Cody. Stop! Don't hit me in my turkey neck. The bottom, underneath my chin with all the folds. It looks like a vagina, Cody. Don't hit me in my
Stop
vagina.
it there. You were going so well for a minute there, and then you had to go and swerve it. Also, real quick. Yes.
Sorry, go ahead.
And, of course, like to make a reference to this coming Saturday, the 28th. Meant to mention this a little bit earlier. Of course, the Beyond Ringside Saturday Showcase, 10 o'clock a.m. Central Time, available through beyondringside.com and all of our affiliates and different broadcast methods. For our friends in our home market of Birmingham, Alabama, Global Championship Wrestling makes the return. Pell City, Alabama, the Pell City Civic Center. Start time is 7:30 p.m. Main event will be for the GCW Heavyweight Championship. AJ Steele taking on the Complete Wrestling Machine Spiral. Special guest enforcer referee, Mad Dog Dan Sawyer. A lot of reasoning behind that. We're going to be covering that as the week progresses. Be sure to keep your...
I thought thought I was going to be the special guest referee enforcer.
No, you had to go take a poop, so I gave it to Mad Dog. You can keep your eyes open on GCWPro.com for all upcoming show information and the brand new edition of GCW TV. GCW Pro Wrestling will be available on .com, GCWPro.com, tomorrow approximately 3 p.m. And before we officially wrap it up, I want to say a very special thank you to the Bloodbound Warriors. Tag Team Extraordinaire. Red Scorpion, Grey Wolf. Thank you for taking the time to come on this evening. Had a blast and looking forward to having you back on in the very near future. Ready to take it home? You got it. Real quick notes, and I apologize for being this late on it. Wrestle Rage Radio with Smart Rage and Stan will not be airing this evening, and the Midnight Black Mass is taking the week off as well. So, like I said, live programming will resume Tuesday the 24th at 8 p.m. Central Time. For all of us here on Beyond Ringside Live for the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis.
Thank you all for tuning in. Don't forget to check out the To Be Determined show. Go out and support your local independent wrestling. And sometimes I like to wear animal print vests.
Okay. For Mark Mabo Bowman.
I don't know. I forgot. I know what I was going to say.
Yes.
Remember, kids, if you go take a poop, you might miss out on the contract being faxed over for you to special guest referee and enforce a match at GCW.
There you go. This is the Magic City Motor Mouth Fast Eddie Lane saying adios, das vidania, hasta luego, auf Wiedersehen, ciao, sayonara, adieu, arrivederci, farewell, abasenia, au revoir, until we meet again, aloha means bye-bye. Join us next time as we all go beyond ringside. Bye for now.